Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in for this week's presentation on educational tools. Today we will be looking at web-based instruction. In this presentation, I will be showing you Google Classroom and explaining the features of this site, as well as providing tips on how you could use this with your class or classes. Google Classroom is perhaps one of the easiest online tools for teachers to use with their students. This site can house class information, assignments, and any other files or data the teacher would like to share with their students. Let's go ahead and get started. This icon in the bottom right corner is the icon for Google Classroom. I set mine up so it would go just to Google, so I could show you how to access it from the waffle. Up in the top right corner on your Google page, if you are signed into your account, you will see 9 dots. We call this the waffle. The waffle houses all of our Google applications. When I click on the dots, I will see a list of lots of different choices of applications. And what I'm looking for is that icon for Classroom. After I clicked on the icon for Classroom, it's going to take me to this page. I don't currently have any classes on my Google Classroom. I'm using my personal account to do this presentation, and I do not have any classes set up. So I'm going to set up a class while I show it to you, so you will know exactly how to set it up on your own account. The first thing that we're going to do is click on this plus sign. It says create or join your first class. If I click on the plus sign, you will see 2 options. The first option says join class, and the second option says create class. The join class option would be the option your students would need to take to join your class if you give them a class code, which I'll show you how to access in a minute. If you are creating a class like we are going to do today, we are going to click Create Class. Because I do not have any accounts linked to this current personal Gmail account, it is going to tell me that I should be using Google Suite for Education if I was to use this with my own actual class in a school setting. I do have another account that houses my school account with my actual students, so I'm not going to worry about what this is asking me here. I am going to set it up that states that I am not using this with a classroom with students, because I am not, and I'm showing this to you as a practice. The next thing that will come up is Create Class. To set up this new class, I'm going to give it a name, Mrs. Sanford. And what I like to put in under the section option is just the year of the school. So I'm going to put in 2020 to 2021. And my subject, I am a 3rd grade teacher, so I'm going to type in 3rd grade. I also will fill in room, and I'll put in room 10, which is my classroom room number. Now I have all the details set up for my class. So while we create the account, I just will give you a couple of pointers on some options that you could have. The header that comes up here when I open my own new class will be whatever Google has chosen for me. I can change that header to a certain theme, or there are a lot of tutorial videos out there on how to make a personalized header. So that is another option. If you are interested in making it a little bit more personal, then you can look up another video to find out how to do that. It's fairly simple. I have done it before, and it does take a little bit of time, but it does kind of create a little bit more personalization on your page that you can tie into your classroom. All right, we're going to look at that. So I'll just show you some of the other themes that they have as options, and I'm just going to choose a different one for mine for today, just because. So you can change that to one of their preset themes, or you can make your own, but it does take a little bit more time to do that. I know a lot of teachers right now are using Bitmojis and kind of making it a fun little piece on their Google Classroom. So that's just another option that you have, and you can make it more interesting that way. Okay, I will show you here the class code. So if you look here underneath the year of the class, there is a class code. That is the code your students would use if they were going to join the class using the other page. So they can type that in and then it will add them to your classroom. There is another way to add students to a Google Classroom too, and I'll show you how that works after we go over a few other things. So our Google Classroom is all set up and it's ready to use. So I'm going to show you the features of how to use this site. This is the stream page that we are currently on. When your students go to their Google Classroom, it will always bring them to this page. This page is just kind of a stream, just like a social media page where you can post announcements. Sometimes you might put videos. You might include some specific document that they need to see before class. And then there are some other things that you can do here as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'll show you the other options. So I'm going to type in something. I'm just going to put a simple announcement to my class because this is a new class. Maybe I want to just say, welcome to 3rd grade, and I can just post this very easily right now immediately. There are some options to add. You can see if I click on the little paperclip and the add button, I can add a Google Drive assignment. I could add a Google Drive form. I could add anything from Google Drive there. We also could add links to different things from the web, other files that are on your computer that are not Google Drive files. And you can also add YouTube videos here. One pointer I'm going to tell you here about YouTube videos is that if you do add a YouTube video here, you may have that suggestions list come up with YouTube videos after they watch the one that you assign or want them to see. So my recommendation is if you are going to put a YouTube video on your stream page, I would use video.link, and instead of having that YouTube video go to YouTube, it'll go there and it will be the only video that they will be allowed to watch. So that just cuts down on some of the things that you may not want them to see, content that's not really appropriate, or just other suggestions that they don't need to see at that time. So it's once again called video.link. It's a great option if you don't want to automatically post YouTube here and have your kids going to YouTube. So that's something that I learned recently, and I think it's really important to pay attention to what kind of content you share with your kids and not allow them to go to those sites if you really don't want them to see all the additional videos and suggestions. So back to my post, I'm just going to go ahead and post this, and I'm going to post it to all students. You can add some other things. I'm just kind of clicking around here, but you can also decide whether you want to post it now or schedule it as a draft or schedule it. I do like to schedule a lot of posts. That helps with keeping things organized, but we're just go ahead and post it now. So we'll just click post, and then you can see I've started my stream page, and you can have class comments added to this. That's something I'll talk about in a few minutes here in terms of the settings. So that's an important piece. You can click on these 3 dots. You can edit, delete. You want to copy this, link to something that you might have shared there. You could do that too. I like to utilize as many of these tools as possible because it does make it a lot easier. One thing I didn't note yet, but you can have on this header as well, you can have a Google Meet code here right underneath the class code. If you are using Google Meet with your students, it can go there. That is something in the settings that will be an option. And I'll go ahead and show you the settings now. So the settings is this gear icon. Actually, I'm going to go back and let you see that one more time. The gear icon here up in the top right-hand corner, it's to the left of where the waffle is. So we'll go ahead and click on the gear icon. It does tell us the class details again, like I already typed in. And then we have some like invite codes, and you can see the Google Meet code, I think is, I don't think it's an option on this one, but you do typically have that on if you are using this on your school accounts. So the things that I do want to share with you though are the stream and the classwork on the stream options. So what we see here is students can post and comment is the current option. What I do want to change, I don't really like having students post on the stream page because it can get cluttered with a lot of information that maybe it doesn't really need to be there. So what I'm going to do is change this to just so that students can comment. You can also change it so that just teachers can do everything on there, but I do like to have comment open and available if students have questions about certain things that are maybe posted there. So we'll go ahead and put that on students can comment. You can also change the way it looks on the stream, condense notifications, hiding them, showing attachments. I'm just gonna leave it at condensed for now. And then there's also a grading option here. I'm not going to do anything with that currently, but there are some options there when you talk about grading, and when we get to assignments, we can maybe look at that too. So we'll save this, and then that will be set up so students won't be able to post, but they will be able to comment on my posts. I think that is probably about it for the stream. I do think that the stream is really helpful for posting Zoom codes so that I can have them there and leave them there at all times. I can put announcements. We receive videos from our principals each week that are morning announcement videos, so we post those up here. Also, you can rearrange posts. So if you want to make sure that one post is always reoccurring at the top, you just can click, and I don't have any, I'm just going to put a second post here so you can see what that looks like. So I can just say, our first assignment will be given tomorrow. I don't know. Oopsies, I did not mean to delete that. Our first assignment will be given tomorrow. So I'll put that here, and then I'm going to post it, but I just want to show you that you can rearrange these, and you can only do that if you have more than one post. So now that I have 2 posts, I can click on these 3 dots, and the first listed item will be moved to top. So maybe I want to put this back at the top, so I'm going to put that back at the top, and it'll rearrange it for me. So if you ever post anything there that maybe got lost, or too many posts came in after it, you can always move it back to the top, which is what I do with my Zoom codes. Okay, classwork is the next thing we're going to look at. So that's pretty much it with the stream. So the next thing we want to do is look at classwork. You can assign a lot of different things in here, and I'm going to show you that now. So you can also link up a Google Calendar or a Class Drive folder. I don't currently have anything like that right now to post. So showing creation of assignments. So let's create an assignment. Actually, before I create an assignment, I like to organize mine by week of assignments. So I would highly recommend creating an assignment in a topic. So creating a topic first so that you have a place to house your assignments. I'm going to put mine under week dates. I like to put dates in there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a topic that just has the week, and then we'll add that week of date. You can also add emojis on here, which is kind of a fun thing to keep it a little bit more interesting and colorful. So there are a couple of websites that have emojis called Emoji Copy and Emojipedia that are just emoji sites where you can copy the emoji and just paste it there in front of the title or after the title, wherever you would want to put it, but it does add some more color into the page. So I'd like to do that as well. So just a suggestion, something that I learned recently too. Okay, so now that we have our week set up, we want to create an assignment that we're going to put under this week title. So I'm just going to put create here, and there are other options. You don't have to do assignments. Sometimes a material is a good thing to create if you don't want to have a grade or you don't need the students to turn it in. I would create it as a material instead of an assignment, because they don't need to turn that into you, and then there's no grading system associated with it because it's just a material that they would maybe use as a resource. But we will create an assignment now, and I'll show you how that works. I'm going to create an assignment called Spelling Week 26. And I'm not going to put any instructions in here currently. Sometimes I say like complete this page on this date, complete this page on this date. We're going to skip that for now. And then I'll add my assignment from Google Drive. And it is a spelling assignment. Go ahead and add that. Insert. And one thing that's really helpful here and to note, and just to make sure you do this, if you attach this incorrectly, students may not be able to see it or use it the way that you want. So you want to make sure that instead of viewing it, you want to make sure that they have access to edit it, and that they can do that without having any problems. So we don't actually want to select the one that says can edit. We actually just want to make a copy for each student. So each student will have their very own copy of this in their file system on their Google account. So we will make a copy for each student. So we use these